Welcome then guys, and in this video what we're going to be talking about is some more information and exciting news in regards to Call of Duty World at War. Seems to be coming thick and fast at this present moment in time. As we know, yesterday it was officially announced what our next Call of Duty title was going to be. Obviously World at War made a lot of people very, very happy. Wasn't exactly a very well kept secret. Obviously all the leaked artwork in 1 hour pretty much led us to the conclusion that this was the game that was actually going to be coming about. But hey ho, they finally announced it. We know we're going to get those boots back on the ground and everything else in between. So a lot of people are very, very happy with that. But now we're getting more information in regards to the actual release date and also a beta as well. Now this information is coming from elite sources in Australia. I can't post the images up onto this particular video. I will leave links down in the description below for you guys to click on. You can follow with me if you so wish. But this has been leaked from a retailer. Someone has taken the sleeve out of an Xbox One case. They've laid it out flat and they've basically taken a picture of it, a still picture, and uploaded it onto the internet. Now, when you look at the first picture, like I say, it's just a laid out picture of the actual cardboard sleeve that goes inside the case. And at the top is the front part of the case. And what it says there is Call of Duty World War II upside down. But at the very top then of the screen, it says the 3rd of November 2017. So this is actually going to be the release date for World of War, and that is going to be obviously on a Friday, which is absolutely fantastic. So make sure you guys are booking the weekend off. Make sure you got plenty of time set aside just for playing this particular game. And also then, when you look at the bottom of the picture, we have a lovely little phrase that says private beta. Yes, we're definitely going to be getting a beta. Personally, for me, it's not really that much of a surprise whatsoever. Obviously, Black Ops 3 went with a beta, which was in August. Infinity Ward decided to do a beta as well. That was just before the launch date. Now, I personally believe, like, the way that Infinity Ward done it with Infinite Warfare, and especially like with Activision as well, is that they weren't very happy with the finished product of that particular game. So obviously they didn't want everyone playing it very early and being put off by the game. It's a bit of a marketing strategy, kind of just trying to get people to buy the game. But the way that Treyarch done it, obviously they released their beta, which was then in August. Now, with it being in August, it gave them plenty of time to iron out a few issues, weapon balancing and a few other things like that. Obviously, when it comes to launch, there's always problems. It doesn't matter whether it's Call of Duty, Battlefield, you name it. Every particular title that lands, especially when it's played online, is going to have some technical issues, but it is a lot better for particular titles to put their beta well in advance, so it gives the certain developers a lot more time to actually iron out the issues. So with World War II, I do believe that Sledgehammer Games and Activision are going to be very, very proud of this particular product. For one, they're going back to the old wars, which a lot of people were crying out for, and obviously boots are back on the ground as well. So they know a lot of people are going to be very, very hyped for this game, so expect the beta then to be launching, like I say, around about August. Obviously it'll probably follow the same sort of suit as like Black Ops 3. We'll probably have about 5 days on the PlayStation 4, then it'll be 5 days on the Xbox One as well. So if you've got both consoles, or you could borrow consoles or switch between the two, you'll be able to get around about 10 days, I would imagine, over a 2-week period to get plenty of hands-on time with the selected amount of game that they actually put out for you. So that's absolutely brilliant. This is pretty much confirmed news that we're going to be getting. The second image that we've also got is basically a close-up image of the back of the case, and this is the writing that's actually you're actually going to find on the back of the case when you actually buy the game, if you obviously buy the physical copy. Now it says on the top paragraph, it says Call of Duty returns to its roots with Call of Duty World War II, a breathtaking experience that redefines World War II for a new gaming generation. You land in Normandy on D-Day, battle across Europe through iconic locations in history's monumental war. Experience classic Call of Duty combat, the bonds of camaraderie, and the unforgiving nature of war against a global power throwing the world into tyranny. Now, obviously, as we know, they're basing it on a war that really did happen. So I would imagine, like the paragraph does actually state, that they are going to be following along the lines of how the actual war went about. I would imagine those follow just mainly from the American side. Obviously, they'll probably join up with other certain nations and stuff like that. But obviously, as we know, especially with Normandy, that is quite an iconic part of the war, made famous like in Saving Private Ryan and things like that. And a lot of history teachers always teach that particular side of things. Obviously, that's when everybody landed on the beaches in France. They tried then to cross over into, obviously, to the grass patches and stuff like that. That's where the Germans laid down all the mines, and obviously they were cutting the enemies, their enemies down with machine guns and stuff like that. So obviously that's very, very well known. So that's kind of the lines that they're going to be following in the actual campaign, I would imagine. So the next the next paragraph does lead actually into the campaign. And it says, World War II tells the story of unbreakable brotherhood of common men fighting to preserve freedom in a world on the brink of tyranny. Players enlist in a gritty, intense journey through battlegrounds of war. The campaign features bold, lifelike visuals with the kind of blockbuster cinematic authenticity of only Call of Duty can deliver. So I would imagine, obviously, like it says there, we're going to be following the exact sort of lines of the way that World War II actually went along. Obviously meeting things. Obviously there's going to be a lot of explosions, and I would imagine that it's going to be visually absolutely stunning. Obviously the way Battlefield 1, when that was actually delivered, a lot of people were very, very happy, especially like with the campaign and stuff like that, the way how visually it looked absolutely stunning. So I would imagine Activision, along with Sledgehammer Games, are going to try and make sure that it at least matches Battlefield 1 and looks absolutely visually perfect. So that's going to be brilliant on the campaign side of it. But for me personally, the most important part of it overall is definitely the multiplayer side of it. First of all, it says boots on the ground multiplayer. This is how it starts off, which is absolutely brilliant. Just to put out the point that there is going to be no exosuits. Then it says multiplayer engages players in grounded, fast-paced combat across many World War II most iconic locations. Players will also enjoy exciting new ways to interact and socialize with their friends and the Call of Duty community. So on the end of it there was basically, you know, about how they're going to get people to interact, you know, get more players together, you get to meet more friends online and stuff like that. The kind of the way that, you know, Respawn Entertainment went with Titanfall 2, their network marketing thing, obviously then it got players together and stuff like that. So I'd imagine Call of Duty are trying to copy that kind of thing as well. But then on the other side of the thing, which I really want to point out, is it says fast-paced combat. Now, this is one thing that I was a little bit concerned about with it going so far back to the past. Now, I'm quite happy with the boots on the ground, no movement system, but I don't want it to be rigid, kind of like COD 4. I think that the game's moved and it's advanced too far from that. So I'd like to see definitely like mantling and make sure that you got your weapon at the same time, sliding, you know, all those kind of things picked into it, just to make sure that it keeps up with the fast pace, what we actually love in Call of Duty, and not just being so-called like stuck in the mud. So that sounds very, very good, even though it's very, very vague on the multiplayer side of things. And then the last one, it says high octane cooperative. It says cooperative mode unleashes a new and original story. You play with your friends in this next level standalone game experience full of unexpected adrenaline pumping moments. So we've got a cooperative back together. I wouldn't imagine it'll be like a 4-player hookup. Yeah, lots of different things, different scenarios for you to actually go out and do. So this sounds absolutely amazing. A lot of people are absolutely hyped for it. Personally, for me, out of everything I've read there, is the fast-paced combat. That is the main thing that I was a little bit worried about, especially on the multiplayer side of things. Personally, I think the campaign is going to be pretty good. I really do. I've got a lot of hopes for it. Infinity Ward with Infinite Warfare, even though the game wasn't absolutely brilliant, if you took away the Call of Duty title, the campaign side of it went very, very well. It was very well liked across a great big community. It just wasn't liked onto the multiplayer side of things. So I would imagine that they'll Call of Duty and Activision and that will get this right on this side of things. The fact that it's back to boots on the ground and everything else in between, a lot of people are going to be excited about this. Me too, and I cannot wait to find out the actual date for the beta. But like I say, expect it around about August time. So let me know, guys, in the comment section below exactly what you're thinking about this. It'll be absolutely amazing. But this is going to be me checking out now. If you like the video, make sure you show some support and give us a like. Also subscribe, which you're seeing coming up on your screen now. And guys, also, if you like to join me in my live streams and discuss any of the points that I've made out in this particular game, I will be streaming it roughly around about 6 times a week. So make sure you join me there and we can have some discussions. But anyway, guys, this could be nearly last, and I'll catch you later.